Hello everyone, I'm Eriris. Today I'm going to talk about Detective Conan. I'll be discussing Detective Conan manga chapter 1106 today. First, let's quickly recap the happenings in this chapter. The chapter begins with a conversation between Kuroda and Conan. Kuroda and a friend went to watch the tournament. Then, we go back 17 years. In the hallway, Asaca and Amanda encounter Kuroda and his friend. Earlier in Kuroda's flashback, we saw this part. After that, Amanda and Asaca visit Haneda Kohji's room. Haneda and Amanda are seen playing chess. When Haneda mentions that Amanda's Japanese is getting better, Amanda replies that Asaka's Japanese mother gave her lessons. The full name of Asaca is Rachel Asaca. Asaka's father was Amanda's bodyguard and died protecting her. After witnessing this, Asaca joined the Witness Protection Program and changed her name. Mother of Asaca also passed away from illness. Like her father, Asaca became Amanda's bodyguard. Haneda Kohji says that Asaca is exactly his type in his conversation with Amanda regarding Asaca. Asaca had transient amaurosis. We then come back to the present. Detective Boys and the others are sitting in a cafe. Others say they'll wait for Conan, but Wakasa leaves early since she's feeling a little sleepy. However, Wakasa's clumsiness takes over, and just as she is about to get her own umbrella, she breaks Kobayashi's umbrella. Wakasa tells them to use her umbrella and that she will take a taxi to get home. We see Korn and Chianti on the following page. They took their place. Ram informs them she is the bodyguard he failed to murder 17 years ago. Once more, we return back 17 years. Ram and his men take out Amanda's bodyguards one by one. Asaca tells Amanda that she has been unable to contact the other bodyguards. Amanda asks Asaca about getting the night stone from Haneda's room. Asaca is taken aback by this. Amanda asks Asaca on the other page whether she can grant a request. In the other panel, we see Amanda alone with Ram and his men. Amanda is holding a glass and appears to be at ease. Amanda says Ram and his men, "Oh dear, how rude people you are. Crowdy and noisy. None of you are invited, you know. But the rudest one is you. You, hiding behind the back. We've met before. Let's see, about 50 years ago? It was at a Japanese millionaire's birthday party. You were only a child. I remember you being called by funny nickname. I'm pretty sure it was Ram. Right? Ram's other two men attempted to knock Kuroda unconscious. But they failed. This is the chapter's quick summary. It was a very amazing chapter, to be honest. But there are a few points I'd want to mention in especially, and I'd like to talk a little about them. About Kuroda, all I can say is that he was pretty unlucky. He was involved in these incidents while on vacation and has no knowledge of them. Honestly, Wakasa is what shocked me the most in this chapter. We learned who she was in the previous chapters, and in this chapter, we learn specifics about the condition of her eye. Because the Hybra sensor had worked against Wakasa in chapter 987, I believed she had connections to the organization. I double-checked Hybra's reaction to Okiya in chapter 622 to make sure. The reaction from Hybra is the same in chapters 987 and 622. The Hybra sensor undoubtedly worked in chapter 987. We were unsure of this person's connection with the organization if the Hybra sensor wasn't working. In other words, if it hasn't worked, it doesn't always follow that they aren't part of the organization, instead, it could just be that they are both. However, up until now, if a Hybera censor had worked against someone, it was unquestionably a hint that they were connected to the organization. There has never been a time when the Hybera censor has been wrong. It turned out that they were all somehow connected with the organization. When I reread chapter 987, I see Hybera, Conan, the detective boys, Wakasa, the basketball club manager Midori Furuka, the players Samito Ishizawa, Fumiaki Urishibara, Kunenori Dano, and Kuroda in the tent off in the background. The basketball club members were never seen again. I think Kuroda is not a member of the organization. Because Conan and the detective boys are not members of the organization, only Wakasa remains. So, what do you think? Do you think Hybera's censor was wrong this time? Another thing I want to mention is, of course, Rom and Amanda. This chapter made it quite clear that Rom was responsible for Amanda's death. As I mentioned in the previous video, I think Amanda's dying message showed her killer. So I think the code Amanda left points to the Rom. This chapter revealed that Amanda is acquainted with Karasuma as well. How did they first meet? Based on what we know now, I assume they met through their businesses. Therefore, Amanda and Karasuma have been meeting for 50 years, whichever way you choose to look at it. But why, after all these years, would Karasuma want to kill Amanda? I guess it is due to work. I think Karasuma may have given the order to kill Amanda so she wouldn't get in the way of their goal. Rom has likely been with the organization for a very long time if Amanda saw him at the party 67 years ago. Was Rom the organization's second man at the time? However, as we can see in this chapter, Rom has no plan of murdering Haneda. I'm curious if Rom also murdered Haneda. I wonder if Amanda's request of Asaca had anything to do with Haneda's death. Seriously, what could Amanda possibly want from Asaca at that moment? Amanda's reaction to Rom suggests that she was aware they were planning to kill her. And Amanda must have known that they would follow Asaca to Haneda's room if Asaca went there. So, in this situation, the first thing that comes to mind is Amanda telling Asaca to seek help from Haneda and flee. Amanda seems to like Haneda and must have assumed she could entrust Asaca to him. Haneda also said that Asaca was her type. But I don't believe Asaca will simply accept that. I think she'll want to be with her as her bodyguard no matter what. I also remember Haneda's words from Wakasa's flashback. Haneda said, "With the Watchtower Bishop, you can be sure of making a good move. So they're going to kill me despite that?" Haneda was found dead in her hotel room. In other words, for the scene in the flashback to occur, Asaca had to visit Haneda's room that day. You could say they've met and talked previously. To be honest, the likelihood of them having met previously with this chapter has diminished significantly. If they had already met, why would Amanda go into such detail with Haneda about Asaca? They may have acted this way because Amanda was unaware that they had met. Of course, that's a possibility, but why would they hide the fact that they've met before from Amanda? Finally, I'd want to discuss the current time period. Kobayashi will use Wakasa's umbrella because Wakasa broke Kobayashi's umbrella. Do you think Korn and Chianti could make a mistake because of this? So, what did you think of the chapter? What might Amanda desire from Asaca? Who was Haneda's killer? How did Asaca get away? Please share your views with me in the comments. That's it for today. Thanks for watching the video till the end.